This is my live reaction to Demon Slayer,鬼滅の刃, Chapter 177, Younger Brother. Anyone who doesn't get jealous of other people is just lucky. They have just never met someone who has received the god's favor, someone intense and vivid who burns everything, like the sun. In the time we were born, twins were viewed as inauspicious because they would cause succession disputes. My younger brother, Yorichi, was born with a disturbed mark, so father declared he would kill him. So the mark since he was a kid. But when mother heard that, her anger was like a conflagration, such that no one could control her. They agreed that he would not kill my younger brother, and that when Yorichi reached age 10, they would send him to a temple. The two of us had different rooms, different clothes, different education, different food. Our upbringing was entirely separate. Perhaps because of that, Yorichi was unable to leave our mother, and was always clinging to her left side. Seeing him like that, even as a child, I pitied Yorichi. I would evade my father's eyes and go to play in Yorichi's small room. If I gave him my own belongings, father would notice, so I gave him a flute I made. It's pretty nice. Ever since Yorichi was a baby, he never smiled. And he didn't speak until age 7, so everyone thought he was deaf. I learned he wasn't deaf at about the same time. I was practicing my sword swing in the garden. Yorichi was silently standing in the shade of a pine tree, and that alone was frightening. My brother, is your dream to become the strongest samurai in the nation? It was the first time I heard him speak, but he spoke smoothly. I was so surprised I gasped, and I dropped my wooden sword. Then he suddenly said that he also wanted to become a samurai, but when he turned 10, our parents would send him to a temple. They decided he would become a priest, not a samurai. I didn't know if he understood that, but then Yorichi smiled for the first time. It was disturbing. Samurai risk their lives in battle, so a boy who clings to his mother at the very sight of her could never become one. However, after that, Yorichi started hanging around and saying he wanted to learn too. My father's vessel, who was teaching me swordsmanship, gave him his practice sword for fun. My instructor casually told him how to hold it and how to stand. With that, my father's vessel took a fighting stance and told my brother to try to strike him. It goes in, boom, 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 boom. Whoa. Goes the leg, and he's upside down. Huh? Good. Broke his sword. No matter how hard I tried, I had been unable to land a single blow on my instructor. But in the blink of an eye, Yorichi had landed 4 strikes and rendered him unconscious. A 7-year-old child had struck him on the neck, chest, stomach, and leg. No bones were broken, but he had fist-sized lumps all over his body. After that, Yorichi stopped saying he wanted to become a samurai. The feeling of hitting someone was unbearable to him. But I wanted to know the secret to Yorichi's strength. I approached him persistently, and while I was talking to him, Yorichi said something inexplicable. Before your opponent attacks, his lungs heave. You just need to look closely at the disposition of his bones, the constrictions of his muscles, and the flow of his blood. Yorichi could see inside the bodies of living creatures. It took some time for me to understand. Just like his birthmark, he had been born with a special sight, and he possessed physical abilities that complemented it. Until then, I'd pity him, but he was far superior to me. Instead of talking about swords, I want to play board games or fly a kite with you. I want to master the way of the sword. His hands are bloody. The way of the sword requires pain and suffering, but talent had been recognized in me. And the harder I worked, the stronger I got. But compared to a rare child prodigy like him, I was like a turtle. How wonderful it must be to hope for something and be blessed with the talent to achieve it. But when I talked to Yorichi about swordsmanship, He looked horribly bored. Despite his excellent talent for the sword, he wasn't happy about it at all. To Yoichi, the way the sword was less than child's play. Our positions reversed. My father's vessel must have told him about Yoichi. Yoichi would be the one to inherit the house. Father would force me into that small room, and when I turned 10 years old, he would send me to a temple. My dream of becoming a samurai would never come true. Big brother? Comes to the sliding room. Okay. Yes? Mother's died. What? In the hour of the tiger, Yoichi came. Our mother's death was the great surprise. It's so sudden. What happened? I'm sorry. Please, ask your servant, Ito, about the details. I will now depart from the temple. Wait, so he goes anyways? Depart? How? Yes. But I at least wanted to say goodbye. This flute. Flute? I think of this flute you gave me as you. We may be apart. I will not lose heart, and will work diligently each day. The flute was junk that could only play off pitch, but he wrapped it in cloth and kept it close to him as if it were a treasure. He smiled again. I had no idea. What was so pleasing about that piece of junk? It was disturbing. I didn't say anything back to him, but Yoichi appeared satisfied and bowed deeply. Then he walked off, taking hardly anything with him. According to Mother's journal, Yoichi had sensed that Father would designate him as heir, so he decided to leave the house earlier than planned. Yoichi had known of Mother's illness and approaching death. For years, Mother had suffered difficulties on the left side of her body. The left side of the body? The left. Yoichi hadn't been clinging to her. She had been weakened by her illness, and he had been supporting her. Crumples of paper? At that moment, I hear my whole body burning with jealousy. From the bottom of my heart, I hated Yoichi for his genius. And he's bleeding from his nose. Wow. So because of the mother, the younger brother didn't die. And because of the scar, he had like the sight. He had the instincts and everything. Since he was born. Wow. So he's jealous of his little brother. And instead of like playing to like his strengths, he decided to like let the older brother be the head of the house. Yeah, he's disheveled and everything. So only smiled when like his brother wouldn't acknowledge him. I mean, that's pretty sad. Man, this backstory just keeps getting deeper and deeper. I wonder if they'll keep doing the backstory, like, when they come together. Or will they, like, go back to the present? To where they finally took him down? Hopefully. So, they didn't know where he went? He just, like, left. Smiled at Flute. I think you just want to be his brother. You just want to be by his side. I think he sacrificed himself so that his brother can have a better life. Instead of becoming a priest. Man. And Yorichi. Good character. Well, next chapter hits October 11th. Even though he was suffering. I wonder what was causing her illness. Well, what are your thoughts? Wow. Yeah. If you're new, subscribe, comment. Thank you for watching. And do you think next chapter we're gonna continue with the flashback, or do you think we'll go to the demon hunters, demon slayers, their attack on Muzan? Because that's all that's left, right? Well, yeah, what are your thoughts? If you're new, subscribe, comment. Thank you for watching, and have a good rest of the day. Bye.